And we're live again today. Hi, everybody. It's Amanda. We just wanted to touch base with you today. I'm sitting down with Kristen and Myriam, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but we'll give it a couple seconds while we wait for a few people to hop on here. Hi, ladies. Good morning. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. We're
Good,
great.
good.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
I'm so glad you could be here. Thank you for joining me today. Kristen, can you just give everybody an introduction of yourself and let them know who you are and do an introduction here?
I'm Kristen Nagel. I'm a nurse as well as a registered holistic nutritionist. So I kind of focus a lot more now on holistic health, and I'm very passionate about informed consent and sharing that with parents. I have co-founded Sweaty Successful Moms, which with Myriam and our partner Leslie Wenlin, and we created that with our mission in mind, which is to grow a community that believes in raising leaders who are wholeheartedly connected to the earth. And really, that's been kind of our drive moving forward with where we're at, workshops that we host, and all events. But yeah, kind of quick.
Myriam, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Myriam. I'm one of the co-founder of Sweaty Successful Moms. I'm holistic by heart. I don't have a trade in holistic health, but I grew up that way and definitely evolved a lot over the last few years, and especially the last 6 months. And like Kristen says, like our mission as Sweaty Successful Moms is to raise leaders who are wholeheartedly connected to the earth and who are empathic, compassionate, understand the connection between us and our environment and how we all have an influence on each other. And that's something that's been very driving the last 6 months.
Awesome.
I know, I think we're moving into almost like 9 months now, but I keep losing track of it too.
Long time, too long.
Well, that's amazing. Congratulations on that, you guys. That's fantastic. So what got you ladies started down this type of a path? So for those of you that are just tuning in, we're going to be doing, we're going to be mentioning some more details about the London Rally coming up this weekend. But to get into it, I want to find out what got you guys started in this. What triggered you to start this?
For me, it was when my son was born. Oh, sorry, Myriam.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, it was when my son was born. So about 6 years ago now, because during his first year of life, I kind of realized that what entered his body, like through food, was completely up to my responsibility, and it had the ability to kind of like create his foundation, his growth and development. And I realized the immense responsibility that was, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. So I started researching food, watching documentaries, going to workshops, and it kind of triggered this passion that led me towards uncovering more about holistic health, about GMO foods, about all these things that are happening around our government and around our food sources, all these things I didn't know. So once I kind of opened that door, I just kind of like kept peeling back more layers and more layers. Once you start, you kind of just like don't stop. I think it's called a rabbit hole for a reason, right? So it led me into that and really passionately wanting to share all this information with people, everything I was learning about food, and then from pharmaceuticals and everything I was learning about the medical system as well, having both backgrounds in nursing and then as well as nutrition. So yeah, and then I came together with Leslie. We created a group that we wanted to Sweaty Successful Moms, because we wanted to bring like-minded women together and have a safe space where women can come together as themselves, non-judgmental, and share all this information. We created workshops that we thought people would be interested in, and we kind of started creating this community that we wanted for ourselves, and it kind of took a life of its own. And that's how we met Myriam, which she came to one of our very first workshops and started asking how she could help and how she can get involved. So finally we brought her on our team as well, and she's been a huge part of us moving forward.
Oh, that's awesome. Myriam, what got you started down the path?
I think I have a mother who's a pharmacist, but from Europe. So pharmacists are a little bit differently trained than here. And I grew up with the medical system, but she was also recommending homeopathy and herbs and things like this. So she would never, she would first go for the holistic route before going to anything else and be well aware of all the connections with the body. So that's something I kind of grew up with. And I think I just grew up as being attracted to the environment, the earth, understanding, grounding barefoot, running barefoot outside. So that's kind of who I have always been. And by connected with Kristen and Leslie, who we're all down that path and more advanced in certain things than me, I've just been kind of adding into learning and more and just realizing that's actually who I am. And there was no need to hide that part of me. And then came this whole season of our life, and I started learning even more so of a lot of connections and going down the rabbit hole and uncovering so many things that are not good for us. And I think so what brought us to where we are today and why we are on the live with you is, I think it's our children, the same thing. I think once a mother realized that their children or her children are at risk and what's coming at us today, that turns into a mama bear. At least that's what's happening with me. And I will do anything that's in my power to make sure that my children are safe and have a decent future. And here we are. I think this is what it is. It's our children. Our children are pushing us to be better person, are uncovering a lot of things, discovering a lot of things. And once you learn about all of it, our mission is to raise leaders. So to be able to raise leader, you have to be a leader yourself, and you have to show the way, and you have to, do what you're preaching for. And by teaching our kids to be healthy and connected to the earth and more aware of everything surrounding us and what they're ingesting in their body and all the influence it has on their body, well, we have no choice but to do the same thing ourselves, and then teach others in a very loving and empathic way. But we have that role. Like we cannot be leaders if we want our kids to be leaders.
Amen. Amen. So I guess Kristen covered what connected the two of you. You showed up at one of the Sweaty Successful Moms group events.
Yes. So and I thought, this is my tribe. I need to stick around them.
It's funny how that happens just right away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about what's happening this weekend then.
Yes. Well, I've been pretty vocal for the last while. Like I would say last several years, it started about sharing information about the corruption around food, and what our governments are trying to hide. And then when I learned, more about vaccines, I started being very vocal about that, which has been getting me into trouble. And then it led, when this whole pandemic started, I started being very vocal about my thoughts around this. Myriam wrote into this City Hall. I think we kind of both wrote in, but Myriam wrote in to speak and wasn't able to attend, and then asked if I could step in, which I was honored to be able to do that. And then that was my first speaking opportunity that led to kind of just more speaking out and getting involved and continuing us down. So Myriam and I have, Myriam sent 400 letters, I think, to the federal government about to all these different people. So we've been trying to figure out ways to create action, to put movement behind our words, to actually, feel like we're making a difference. So we were so inspired at the Elmer rally that, Kim did such an amazing job, and she just, showed up. She was authentically herself. And we thought, what, we've been talking about putting together a rally, doing something for so long, we need to just do it. So we saw Cullen, Myriam saw Cullen at the side of the road doing a live video, and she was like, come on, now is our chance, and dragged, and usually that's me, but Myriam totally took charge of this one. We jumped onto Cullen's live and just on the spot announced London's rally November 22nd, and then that kind of, shared whatever details were in our head at that moment, because we didn't think about it until then. And then we walked away, we're like, well, I guess it's happening. So here we are. We're actually putting some action behind our words now.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Everything that happens organically is always the best. It's always the best. And it always works out the best as well, I feel anyways. So the London rally this weekend, November 22nd. What time does that start, and where can people find you?
1 p.m. Victoria Park. We're still working which location, like exact, like east, west, or what spot of Victoria Park, but it won't be hard to find. So for a group of people in a pickup truck, by 1 p.m. Victoria Park. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's awesome. And who, can you mention the speakers, or is it a secret?
So we have, no, I listed the speakers, so it's up and live. So we have Colin McDonald is coming, and he's going to be speaking on behalf of his new organization, Stand for Thee. So we're really excited to have him because he's had such a strong voice throughout this whole movement from the start. So we're very excited about that. Kimberly Neudorf is going to come, just speaking from the heart and sharing inspiration, how anyone can kind of stand up and make change. We have a local to London man, Paul Leenders. I'm gonna have to ask how to pronounce his name. But he does the whole life. He's amazing. He does like CHEK, CHEK. It's this like alternative practice. He has a background in health kinesiology. He's like amazing, just like so much wealth of knowledge. So he's kind of coined this event as a health revolution instead of a fear revolution. So I'm so excited for everything that he's going to share. We have Project Phoenix coming. So we are accepting canned goods, toiletry items like care packages, warm winter clothing moving into, this cold season. So Phoenix is 13 years old. She travels all over Ontario, like all over, handing out directly to homeless people like care packages, sleeping bags, and actually, like going and reading them. And I just think it's amazing what this 13-year-old is doing. So I'm so excited to have a platform for her to share this.
Yeah.
Pastor, what's that?
She's inspirational. Yeah.
She's just so incredible
leader with a
she
heart
is. And like what better fitting. Yeah. We talk about raising leaders, and here she is. Like this is like exactly what we're talking about. So I am just like already goosebumps thinking about what she does. Then we have Pastor Henry Hildebrandt coming, which, he's just been such an advocate and a voice throughout this whole movement, just really fighting for our rights. So excited about that. And I think I should have my list ready. I think that's it. Myriam, did I forget anyone? You had to mute yourself.
Sorry, I had a little child interruption in here. No, I think you covered everyone. No. I think there's a few.
Linda Skies, who spoke in Elmer, that feisty 73-year-old is speaking up for her like generation. So she's coming out as well. So I'm so excited for her to speak. Yeah, she's awesome.
She is.
Yeah.
You guys will love watching this woman. She is feisty.
She's so feisty. She's so great. And she's been showing up to every rally. I got to talk to her again, and like she spoke in Elmer. She was at St. Thomas. So she's awesome.
Amazing. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. I'm glad that she's so fearless and she's a machine. She's a warrior. This woman. I hope I am like that at her age.
Yes. Yeah. Like I think that we're all kind of striving for that, right? Definitely. Still keeping that fire in. Yeah. 100%. Oh, and sorry, Andrea Card is going to be opening the event with the national anthem, which is going to be so beautiful and amazing. And we're going to have music and DJs and keep it really fun, and a march after. But I think I got it all.
That's awesome. So would you say that this is a family-friendly event?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Family-friendly, peaceful. That's been like, I know Myriam can probably speak on this. Sorry, because
this is who we are. Like, we are mothers, we are nurturer, we are protector, but we're also a warrior if something is wrong. And so this is what we want. We want a family-friendly event, inclusive, active, and interactive, loving. Like we have to stand this fight with love and not with fear. And so our children are a part of it. They're actually preparing for the event already. At least mine are. They're very excited.
What do you have to say to the people that criticize and call these type of things super spreader events? What is your message to them?
I would like them to come out and see that it's not. I would also like them to empower themselves and research and find evidence on why they feel that way. Are they actually finding truth? Are they finding evidence? Are they finding studies? Or is this just something they're reiterating from mainstream media? So I'd like them to really go inward and kind of answer that questions for themselves. and, you know, to back it up with science and studies and, you know, but to come out, like as Paul had mentioned, this is a health revolution. Someone yesterday, the Woodstock rally was like, these are not rallies. She's like, these are like COVID seminars. She's like, I always learn so much every time I come to one. Like there's always so much information to be shared, education, positivity. But I mean, I think there was like a chemist, like a biochemist that spoke yesterday. He was amazing. So yeah, she called it a COVID seminar. And I think just come out and hear the other side and, you know, and find out for yourself what you think about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the truth in your gut, you know. And if you're terrified, wear a mask. You know, it's not about being anti-mask or pro-mask. It's about doing what's right for you and your family.
Choice.
But you know, not pointing the finger at each other. It's about freedom and yeah, like I said, pro-choice. You know, so I'm only assuming you guys have been getting a little bit of pushback on this. What does that look like for each of you?
Oh, it's been pretty intense for me. I'm not gonna lie. Being called like a fake nurse, inconsiderate, reckless, dangerous. I don't even know. It's been pretty spiteful. But
what have they done?
I think
what have they tried to do to you? Like I've seen some of this, and it's absolutely despicable. The vile hatred that these people spew. What have they tried to accomplish to put an end to whatever you have to do?
Well, we have yet, thank goodness, I'm going to knock on wood, but we have yet to have, maybe because it's not as widely known yet, I don't know, the London one in the mainstream, we haven't had any pushback for that one yet, but I have seen what has happened in different cities, right? Like where they've called, declared state of emergencies. They've, you know, there's been so much hate where people have been saying they're going to run over the crowd with their cars. They're going to bring like their paintball guns to shoot people. They're, you know, hoping that they catch COVID and die. I know they've been trying to report people to ruin their careers. Like, yes. And so it's been very hateful and spiteful. And I just think that if you are calling us inconsiderate and dangerous, then you might want to look back in that mirror and see what that reflection is showing.
Yeah, because it's pretty ugly.
It's very ugly, and that is far from anything that we are promoting or trying to do. Someone was mentioning in one of the groups, you know, about this speaker or that, but you know, when people came in, it was like, you know, like we're all going to be different. We're all going to have different opinions. One voice is going to speak louder to someone than another, and you know, but that's the beauty of it, is that despite our differences, we are coming together for a common cause, for common good, and that is our freedoms, for the right to choose, for the ability to have differences. Like differences are a blessing that should bring us together and have amazing conversations, and you know, and to learn from each other and have an open mind, open heart. But we are coming together with our differences for a common goal that is choice and freedom.
Amen.
Yes, amen.
Yeah, it's the hatred that drives me crazy, you know, and the name calling, and the dirty tactics. And these people go around claiming they're good people. That's what drives me nuts. And I understand it's the fear that drives them, but then when they all start coming together to bully one person, that's when they need to stop and take a step back instead of letting it fuel that fire. Because that, my friend, is called hatred. That is in your heart. And that is the type of person you are becoming because of these measures.
Yeah.
So
I want to just add, my daughter experienced that in Elmer. When she was walking very peacefully, obviously, just peaceful and loving people, and an adult on the sidewalk just showed her the middle finger, and that shocked her. Like, she's 9, very immensely, because she did not understand why that was happening. And I tried to explain that to her, and you know, this is coming from a place of fear. You just have to return love. So it's like, well, what am I going to do the next, Rylan? So just prepare a sign where you say, you know, I love you. And that's what she's done. Like, she's worked relentlessly on her sign saying, I love you. And there's a hug on her sign, and that she will have that as her weapon, like a love weapon, if this happened again. There. She's ready.
Oh, I can't see that, honey. Hold that up. We want to see your sign.
Oh, step there. Oh, almost.
Almost. Oh, I love it.
So, you know,
I love you.
I think this is the message too. Like, we're doing this for a greater good, and yeah, you need to come from a place of love and not fear and not hatred. That doesn't.
Yes.
It's not serving you. It's not serving actually the person's coming with that. It's making the person sick and more inclined to.
Yeah, it's eating their heart.
Mhm.
Yes.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
And you can almost watch it at this point. It's so upsetting.
Mhm.
You know,
It
They're
is
pitting
upsetting.
neighbor against neighbor because somebody has a different point of view. Well, some people do the actual research instead of just buying what they're being force fed. You know?
Yes.
So it just
Ask
go about
questions.
your day.
Ask why.
questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Exactly.
think, you know, ask question, and it's okay to be at different level. We actually, all of us would love them to be at our level, because I feel that way. At least I want to rescue everyone. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be healthy. I don't want anyone to live in fear. And so it's actually very hurtful for us, because this is not what we wish other human beings. The opposite, the absolute opposite. So, but it's okay. Like, everyone is different and everyone is at a different level, and we understand that and we accept it, but then we should be accepted the same way. I think that's
Yes. Yep.
respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And you're instead met with virtue signaling and gang insult.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting. So anyways, we'll move on from that because we don't want to manifest any of that. It's
No.
ridiculous.
No.
So
No.
you've been getting pushback from the community and obviously online, because we've all seen it. What about with the MSM? Has the MSM reached out to you for any reason yet, or are we just gonna wait until the weekend?
Not
when
yet.
they
Not
start
yet.
No, not yet.
fun stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
No, we haven't heard anything yet, so we're just gonna, I don't know, see what happens, but nothing yet.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, Kristen, I want to talk to you a little bit about this group of parents that have come together called Unmasking Education Ontario. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Yeah. Well, there's been just so much parental upset about their children going to school, wearing masks, being forced to wear masks, even in the younger, like under grade 4 age group, that, you know, where it's no, they don't have to, but they're still getting forced to wear masks. And if they don't, they're getting bullied. They're getting sent to the back of the room, and teachers actually telling the whole room, like, stay away, like that person, you know, is dangerous, and, you know, signaling them out in class. And it's been devastating on mental health, behavior. These poor kids. I had one parent reach out to me with a 6-year-old that was talking about suicide at 6 because she hates her life because everything going on. And I just know there's so many parents feeling lost, not sure what to do. And so several parents across, you know, southwestern Ontario came together and started collecting possible plaintiffs, started collecting stories and information, and got together enough where we were actually able to present all these heartbreaking stories to our constitutional rights lawyer, and that's going to be filed and moving forward, and it's going to be, you know, legal action against the school boards and possibly some people individually that have, you know, caused like trauma and pain on some of these students. But it's just again to take back rights. Like, this is not help. This is creating trauma. This is creating psychological damage in these kids. It's just not right what is happening in the school system. So it's to fight back and take back our kids' health, like, and their freedoms and rights.
Absolutely. That is so amazing. I love what you guys are doing. And for anybody else that is really loving this initiative, I want to urge you to go and donate to the Constitutional Rights Center. Every little bit's going to count, because these poor kids are paying the price, you guys. It's not okay. Like,
it's not okay.
What was it that Randy Hillier said that I really loved in your speech? It was prolonged fear is terror, and terror becomes trauma, right?
Yeah,
which turns
exactly.
to anger and hate. You know, so it breaks my heart for these children, and
this is irreversible, right?
100%. If it goes on long enough, it's absolutely irreversible. Oh, so what would you guys suggest people do to take action in their own communities or in general? Myriam?
You know, I think there's a lot of things you can do, and they can be small things like talking to your neighbor and bonding with your neighbor, if you start a vegetable garden or something, like they share, you know, with your neighbor, like creating a community. Like we're put in the place of fear so that we aren't connected with each other. So one very simple action is actually to reconnect with each other. You know, just showing your children that you don't have to wear a mask, that you can hug, that you should be hugging. All those little things are actually actions. And then there is larger things you can do. But what we're hoping to do at the rally, so one action could be come on Sunday at 1:00, listening to all the information that will be shared with you. And we're hoping that by then we'll have a card with all kind of things that you can do. Also, website where you can go to. One of them that was just mentioned before, where you can sign up, and there's more actions that out there. But you can write letters to your elected, to the health unit, to the minister. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. But if you think it's overwhelming, start small. Create a community. Be kind to each other. Plant some little seeds. Show how kindness, love, connection makes a big difference. And then take care of your own health. This is like something that we are being taken away. Like we're told not to take care of our own health, which is the opposite. We need to take care of our own health. And if you do that, it's actually a big action, because that means you are going to be putting good food in your system, which means not supporting the pharma industry, not supporting the big chains that are actually trying to destroy your health, supporting local farmers. Go to your local market. Go purchase from your local businesses, because they're the ones suffering also, like with our children and elderly, they're suffering a lot. So just little things that you can do. Vote with your dollar, vote with your health, take ownership of your own health. And once you have that, spread it out to your children and partners and the community. And that is per se a small but huge action. I will make a big difference. And yes, come to see us on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's creating that ripple effect. Sorry, one more little thing I wanted to add, which we had talked about before, Myriam, is the sidewalk chalk. Even if you don't want to like have conversations yourself, like we found sidewalk chalk can be a really fun way to get information across and spark conversation. It's a good way to get your kids involved too. So sidewalk chalk, you can leave some great messages or little things on there.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I guess I probably should have asked this at the beginning, but I think this is a really important question to ask a lot of people, especially people in your position, Kristen. What do you think the allopathic medical education system is missing in the training?
Truth?
Well, yes, but I was listening to your speech, and I know you had mentioned a lot of stuff about actually taking responsibility for your own health and trusting your gut. And I mean, they serve Tim Hortons and McDonald's in the hospitals. Like, that's not nutrition, right? So do you think they should be learning about nutrition and naturopathic ways along with what they also learn, like allopathically?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. There is such a missing gap, and that's why I've become so passionate and outspoken about it. Just because we have all the power, everything we need is within us. When we take back our responsibility, when we take back sovereignty, when we start listening to our intuition, to our instincts, when we start fueling our body with good food, decreasing stress, movement, mindset, right? Like, and when we start getting reconnected to ourselves, like there's amazing shifts that can happen. But right now we're continuously told that our bodies are not good enough, our bodies are weak. We are looking for someone outside of us to tell us what to do, to give us the answers, the quick fixes. And we've given up our responsibility. We need to take back responsibility for ourselves. We need to take back our own health, our own sovereignty, and come back inward and realize that we do have everything that we need. And I think once we take back responsibility, I think there can be huge shifts that are made. I know that there can be because I've seen them happen. I've seen them within myself. I've seen them in the community. I've seen what can happen when you take back your, sovereignty. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, everybody, so London, 1 p.m. this Sunday, November 22nd at Victoria Park. As well, Chatham-Kent's also holding their rally this weekend at noon, November 21st, downtown. So if you can get there, be there. But yeah, I can't thank you ladies enough for joining me today. Like, it's so important we unify and band together and bring back the community, the focus on community and love and, family unit, togetherness. Like, it's so important that shines through, right? Is there anything else that you guys would like to tell everybody before we sign off today?
No, just maybe quick, just anybody listening that might be on the fence, just reach out, come have an open mind and an open heart, and just ask questions and listen. You don't have to agree with everything, but the important part is just having a conversation and just open mind, open heart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Myriam, anything for you?
I don't think I can finish that, but I mean, really, yeah, open heart, be welcoming, just be open to others and differences, and don't be scared. Really not. The fear is just not good for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We're on
that's
a health revolution, not a fear revolution.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. So 1 p.m. on Sunday. That's awesome. And I'm going to ask that if you're going to sit there and write a negative comment, fight the urge to be a keyboard warrior and do what these ladies have suggested and reach out and have a conversation. It's easy to incite hate, but more gets solved when we understand each other, right? Our side is not doing this to impact your side. Like, it's not about sides. It's about freedom and the freedom to choose all around. And as much as you think your way should be our way, that's not how the world works. So just think a little bit before you type words you can't take back. So thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate you coming to sit here with me today. I enjoyed speaking with you. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Victoria Park. I'm going to say it again. Bring your signs, bring your kids. It's family friendly. The kids have such a good time, you guys. They get to play and run around and be kids and just not worry about all this garbage going on in everywhere else for a couple hours out of the day, So thank you. And we will see you guys again shortly, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. And everybody have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.